Lantau, largest and most beautiful island in Hong Kong. Surely one of the finest islands in all China. Used to be known as the Island of Prayer for having so many monasteries. There are beautiful hillsides, fantastic hiking trails. And along the coast, there are beaches popular with people from all across Hong Kong, but also lowland sites threatened by development. On the north shore, there's the muddier Tung Chung Bay, right beside Tung Chung New Town. Just to the north is what's left of Chek Lap Kok, now the site of Hong Kong International Airport. A cable car crossing the bay takes tourists up to Nong Ping on the slopes of Lantau Peak. Though facing urban encroachment, Tung Chung Bay is still a haven for wildlife. Most of Hong Kong's mangrove species are found here. In winter and early spring, there are also migratory birds like common sandpipers. Other water birds include little ringed plovers and grey herons, which might nest in Hong Kong or might be winter visitors. People enjoy the bay too. Here, bird photographers arrive to shoot a black-capped kingfisher, a beautiful, locally scarce species. A white-breasted kingfisher also seeks fish, as do herons below. There's a historic temple on the shore of the bay. Stephen Chair is a landscape photographer who's lived in Tung Chung since 2003.
I enjoy the area here because the place I live is very close to the natural environment in Tung Chung. And just within 5 minutes of walk, I can walk to the mangrove area and also the natural coastline, which is very beautiful. And in Tung Chung, we also have an old fishing village, which is called Ma Wan Chung, and which is also a very beautiful place to visit. Actually, most part of Tung Chung was actually natural coastline and very beautiful, but now part of the natural coastline in Tung Chung is developed and destroyed. In the New Town area, you can see that part of the natural coastline was wetland now. Like every weekend when I come here, I see many people. They just walk around to take pictures.
The government plans to greatly expand Tung Chung, threatening the bay and the neighbouring river valley.
I have a lot of friends who live in Tung Chung, and many of them they actually oppose the plan of the government because they think that this place should be preserved, because there are a lot of things to see here, and it will be bad if this place is destroyed. I think Tung Chung Bay should be preserved, and also the Tung Chung Valley part of development should be minimized, because that part of development will destroy a large part of natural vegetation in the area.
Today, the areas along the north and west shores of Tung Chung Bay are pleasantly green, attracting butterflies and wintering thrushes like greyback thrush and pale thrush, as well as Dorian redstarts and other birds. Visit Ma Wan Chung and you can find the old fishing village, which was once perhaps the largest settlement on North Lantau. There's a shrine to the spirit of an old banyan tree. Nearby Tung Chung Fort was perhaps built in 1832 and served as a naval headquarters. You can still glimpse timeless South China life, but high-rises serve as reminders of the modern world. Explore Tung Chung Bay and you can enjoy a splendid mix of urban and rural Hong Kong. There are seagrass beds here, a special habitat in Hong Kong, though in early spring little stirs but hermit crabs. With summer warmth, it seems the mudflats come to life. There are mud skippers and colourful crabs. Butterflies sip salty water. It's good to visit when the tide is just falling. The crabs get busy, fiddler crabs waving for territory, porcelain crabs beneath the mangroves. It seems there are hordes of fiddler crabs on some of the mudflats. The males waving to attract females and keep rivals away from their tiny territories. During very low tides, the river cascades across the flats. People arrive to dig for clams. Clam digging's a local tradition, but nowadays probably too many people come and join the harvest. Instead of big clams the size of your hand, most might be tiny, perhaps the size of a dollar coin. So, Tung Chung Bay is special for humans and wildlife alike. I hope that instead of being damaged by development, it can be safeguarded, protected for generations to come. On the east coast of Lantau Island, Mui Wo is a rural backwater visited by relatively few people. But it does have attractions and people with ideas for improvements.
Certainly when you see people coming here, people love to come and look at the birds and cycle around the villages. We've still got these wetland environments with birds, herons, egrets, we see kingfishers. But nevertheless, you know, it's getting to the stage where if we see a lot more expansion, then it's going to start to affect the environment. You know, it's just a question of finding the right balance. The big concern is that the wetland environments are all disappearing through development. Okay. But there's a great opportunity here, I think, to create something worthwhile. It can be done in a sympathetic way, preserving, you know, at least a viable portion of the natural environment. At the same time, providing people with a good quality of life. There's still a lot of bird life about, but it's partly hidden. So what needs to happen is to open this up a little bit, make it accessible to the public in a controlled way, so that, you know, people can enjoy this natural environment.
As well as safeguarding nature, a reserve here might also include Mui Wo's cultural heritage, like two neighbouring watchtowers, one of which is part of Shui Hau Old Mansion, built in the 1920s. There's a fine beach here that's especially popular in summer, but even in winter is a good place for playing, flying kites, and just having a stroll. The rocky shoreline to the north attracts reef egrets seeking fish. There are areas of old farmland, dotted with small but growing hamlets and villages. You can find older houses, some of them quite grand, as well as small temples. There are also plants and wildlife here, and a few people are setting up organic farms.
Because Mui Wo have fresh air and the good environment, and people is friendly, and then my plants grow well because have good water to water them. Usually, it's the villagers come around and saw how I grow up my vegetables, and they saw, wow, beautiful, so they come to buy. I love Mui Wo, so I stay here. I think that most of them, the people would like the environment of Mui Wo, and then Mui Wo must be kept in more green and more fresh.
The Silvermine Fall tumbles from the hills. Quiet in the dry season, it becomes a raging torrent on some days in the rainy summer. Above is another, almost secret waterfall. If combined with a new wetland reserve and more imaginative planning, it can help make Mui Wo a phenomenal place to visit and a great place to live, work and raise families. If you explore Pui O in southeast Lantau, you'll find there's far more to the area than the ramshackle village along the main road. For 16 years, Pui O was home to Shui Hau, chairwoman of the Lantau Buffalo Association.
Well, when I first arrived here and I found that space and the greenery in something in my soul, I think it's in most of the human soul that we urge to find our roots and our natural atmosphere for our soul. That's how I felt about it. And also having animals around would give you the tremendous amusement, especially if you're stressed out from work. You come back and you see them roam around and walk past and see kids, how they interact with each other. It's better than, I don't know why people spend time on the TV or on the internet. You come out on the field, it's a happiness. As far as I know, Pui O is the only place for a breeding herd that is close enough for humans to come and see them. And they're friendly enough for you to walk around. And also, you see the habitation here, it's fantastic. You can see the whole buffalo and wetland ecology's lesson within one spot. When I joined the LBA, it was the hardest time of the water buffalo because you look at them, they look like a mini dinosaurs. So in the image, they are not as popular as cow. Attitude changed a lot, and after we giving talks and explaining to them, you keep a distance because they're very shy, they get scared quite easily. Especially more local people move in. A lot of local people move in because they are around. If you have children and a parent and see the big animal walking in front of you, and that's the moment you learn how to communicate with the animal. So this is tremendous experience to many of local residents that this is something beautiful. I think this is something that we own the Hong Kong children. The Hong Kong children everybody have that opportunity to have that confidence, education in the life process that they can get it from the nature, not from a TV or look up to a pop star. This is something to give it back into their soul, make them strong and healthy and believing in themselves. And that would tackle whatever difficulty in their life and also the future of Hong Kong. That's how I see it.
The abandoned paddy fields grazed by the water buffalo attract migratory shorebirds, like this oriental plover, which is rare in Hong Kong, as well as commoner species, 2 golden plovers here, and wood sandpipers. An oriental pratincoll rests between catching insects in flight. In spring and autumn, you can find handsome yellow wagtails and buntings with a chance of the globally rare Japanese yellow bunting. Year-round water birds include Chinese pond herons and white-breasted water hens. Pui O stream flows through the old paddy fields. It's home to dragonflies, like Chinese greenwing, which is spectacular when it flies, attractive even when perched, and the commoner russet percher. At the stream mouth, small mudflats and mangroves are home to fiddler crabs that feed and show off on hot sunny days. There are birds here too. A little ring plover looking around for danger. A night heron watching patiently for fish. A reef egret which rests a while and then hunts through the tide line looking for fish or shrimps. To the east, across the Chimawan Peninsula, is Shap Long with another tidal stream mouth and more buffalo fields. Swallows gather in spring. There are resident birds here too. With insects active year-round, both Shap Long and Pui O attract songbirds that flee the harsh northern winter. Some are splendidly colourful, like bluetails and Dorian redstarts. Though still rural, both places are changing significantly. Developments include small houses, not always for local people to live in, as well as fields being transformed and larger building projects. Yet you can still discover tranquility here and escape city life. Migrant butterflies congregating in late autumn help show why Pui O touches the soul of Shui Hau and so many Hong Kong people. But Pui O and its buffalo fields are not safe. Some local landowners have filled in patches of marshland. Officially, this is a coastal protection zone, but government officials say they can do very little to stop the damage. Likewise at Shap Long, where it seems new small houses are for profiteering and not for local residents. Westward lies Shui Hau, with silty mudflats in a sheltered bay. Many people over-harvest clams. There are fewer birds, like globally near-threatened grey-tailed tattlers. Fiddler crabs are fun to watch, and this is one of Hong Kong's few places for breeding horseshoe crabs. The neighbouring abandoned fields are home to wildlife, like butterflies, birds including cattle egrets, and a favourite spot for Lantau's feral cattle. Shui Hau deserves protection and recognition. It's a special place. Set by the mouth of the Pearl River, Tai O is the main settlement of western Lantau. It's an old fishing village, and with houses on stilts along a tidal creek, along with an abundance of sampans, it's fancifully dubbed the Venice of Hong Kong. It retains rural charm. This, along with shops selling seafood and other items, helps make it a draw for tourists. The former police station, built in 1902, has been converted, renovated to become a heritage hotel. Natural splendours add to the attractiveness of Tai O, including Chinese white dolphins, pink when adult, found close inshore. Development projects threaten the dolphins and other natural wonders, but they are countered by conservationists like Ho Pui Han.
17 years ago, when I teach in the secondary school here, and I love these places, and so I decided to stay and live here. In about 1998, we know that there is a revitalization of Lantau and Pui O. Some villages and people in Pui O, they are worried about the changing of Pui O. They love these places, so they asked me to form an association. I think Pui O, as a short-time visitor, you will find it very beautiful. But actually, many destruction and many changing has happened. Most of the land are collected by some company or some one or two indigenous villages, and they just want to make this some kind of development to grind more profit. Yeah. Because the government think that, and also the green groups think that this is a very high conservation value area, so they show it as a conservation area. If the government think it is worth for conservation, why not exchange the land for the villages or buy it as a lesser price? When we submit our plan to the government, many people from different areas of Hong Kong, they support our suggestion. Not only Hong Kong, I have a member from England or America, they also submit their support. So I think that Pui O is a worthwhile conservation area, and it has successfully attracted many tourists here. It is a treasure of Hong Kong people and also a worldwide treasure.
To the south lies Pui O, a small bay. The village here has been completely abandoned, but recently a project has begun to restart farming. There are fears this may be just a prelude to development, but project team members like Alan Wong insist farming will continue.
Yep, we are going to keep organic farming. I think this is one of the only place in Hong Kong that we have good soil, and then we have good water, so that we can really do organic farming. And I don't think this is too convenient a place for any real estate development. For 80% of the area, we grow rice. That's our major crop. And then, of course, we have other vegetables, we have herbs. Then it's a local grown organic rice, and then we have very, very good water source. And that's very important for rice. We are trying to make it better.
During a later visit, Alan Wong and colleague L.H. Lee tell more about the project.
The project started from 2012, and we have already provided 2-year service in this site. Well, in Pui O, we've divided into 2 sections. The first section is the new villages, and we do some community service in this farm. And the other part, we do some operation work. When we are in the operation fields, that is the old village, we grow rices for the Hong Kong citizen. Well, we grow rice because it's the tradition in this village, and a long time ago they grow rice here. Well, I do very enjoy to work in this field, but because it provides a new experience for me in my life, and it provides some natural experience for all comers in this farm.
Well, love this place. I think it give me the feeling of totally different from the city life. So I can really enjoy working and enjoy life. Well, I can see, I would like to see that we got places for people that they can spend overnight, like camping area. And then we really can have, say, a licensed small restaurant that people can stay, can have something to eat and refresh themselves, and then they move on to explore the whole area. Well, I really do like people to come here. The reason why is that I can hear their laughter and see their happy face, and it tells me that I am doing the right job.
Protecting Pui O and other special places on Lantau will require more support, more people getting involved. Maybe you can visit, enjoy the places, and then find how you can help too.